Yeah, I think a huge part of it is just not knowing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So then so that's why it's so interesting that you would use the word despise.
Yeah.
Because how can you actually despise a person who doesn't know?
Right. Right. This is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is true. Yeah.
And
Well, you're calling me out on my shit. Thank you.
This is not an interview. There is no format. This is simply a conversation about life.
and it's not about like calling you out. It's just more that I think we always need to talk more to like really I feel like we think and then we get our thoughts to a certain point and if
Mhm.
no one asks a question we can't move it any further, you know what I mean? Because
Yes. Yeah.
in a way I think that like not to keep harping on it, but when you if you feel that way about it, I think this can inhibit you from coming to solutions. You know
Yes.
what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Because if you inherently think, I mean, it comes with the implication that the person is doing it on purpose. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And so and that, of course there are some people that do things on purpose because I remember walking down the not walking down the street, but I was in front of a some party somewhere and there was a guy walking down the street and he had a box and he was eating a pizza. He had a pizza box, right? And he was clearly he pulled out the last piece of pizza and he just dropped the box right where he was walking and just kept walking. And
Yeah.
and now mind you, this was like 30 years ago. I can't necessarily imagine someone doing it on that level, something that I'm sure people do this kind of thing, but it still takes a certain point to say, okay, you don't throw the big pizza box down, but you still throw down the napkin. Or you still just you take the wrapper off or something and you throw it down and like I think that if you can we have this tendency to get really like we take in a I don't want to use the word we attach a lot of emotion to things, I think, and we attach like we yeah, we don't have the empathy for the person. Like if you saw a little kid doing it, like you would just tell them. You don't get angry at the
Right.
kid and say, you know what I mean? And I think we
Yeah.
forget that like some people just don't know certain things. And as much as we think that they should know, sometimes it's worth just having the conversation with them. Now, I didn't say anything to this person with the
Right.
throwing the box down or whatever, but if it was someone that I know and I felt like, maybe we're not going to get into it, you know what I mean? Like I could have a conversation with a person that I feel comfortable and it has like a cascading factor to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rather than the approach that we kind of take now is we get angry at everyone and we get frustrated and have no patience for them and you know what I mean?
Hmm.
I don't know that that's going to help us because it also makes
Yeah.
people defensive
Yeah. Yeah.
because I think that like sometimes we have to look for solutions that will allow people's needs to be met and maybe some people have like super unrealistic needs or something um but if you have a company for instance that sells um meat or something, right? And I'm a vegan, right, or whatever. And there's a company that sells meat. And then they try to sell a vegan burger. Do we still hold them in contempt for having sold meat at all, or that they still continue to sell meat, or do we support the things that they're doing that we want them
That
to
are
continue to do?
mm-hmm.
You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying?